Okay, what we're going to speak on today is the 94/95 Olympia. Yates gets redemption in 95. The first photo, and I'm new to this, so I've done a couple hundred YouTube videos on other subject matters that did not include videos or pictures, I should say, photographs. And I'm going to try to implement them into this video. Using Windows Live Movie Maker, so it's kind of an experiment here. We'll see how this goes. But the first picture in 94 is greatly debated when it comes to the Olympia. Now, to give a little bit of a background, in the 90s, early 90s or early 2000s, 10, 12 years, you could say 10 good years of deep competition, 6 to 8 guys that were very good. 8 guys jockeying for those second to sixth spot, and it could switch up from year to year. So it was deep competition. And in 94, Dorian Yates, who up until this point, this would have been his third Mr. Olympia win, he tore his biceps 6 weeks out from the competition. He was doing reverse grip barbell rows, reverse grip, for 440 pounds or 460 pounds for reps he was regularly doing. And he was trying to do his off-season weight while he's prepping for a contest. While his calories are diminished, his carbs are diminished, he's tired, so on and so forth. So that's the type of warrior mindset that he had. Talk about strength in the back. Doing an overhand grip for any seasoned bodybuilder at 460 pounds for reps is an impressive feat. He was doing that underhand grip, like when we do the underhand grip for the pulleys, the pull downs, lat pull downs on the long bar. That's for your lower lats. You bend down, do the same motion, tuck in, boom, activating the lower lat. So that's why he would do that reverse grip. And so he came in wounded to the competition. He was bloated. He was still thick as can be, hard, but he was bloated and not as conditioned. He was probably 260, north of 260. So he wasn't in great shape compared to 93. It was a drastic change in Yates. And it can be argued that he would win at least half. Well, there's 7 mandatories, but it would be pretty close. The back shots he would win. The front double or the front lat spread, rear lat spread, rear double bicep. Front double bicep, hands down. We know everyone beats him there because he's shit for biceps. He did even before 94, 93. He did have legit, 22-inch arms as a whole, but and they had a peak to them, but they weren't that great. But he made up in forearm and triceps, some of the best triceps ever in forearms. And so, 94 wasn't too good to Yates. So the next photo we have is Yates in his hotel room during the Olympia, in his trunks, tanned up, cut up to shreds, giving the middle finger, saying, "I'm back." Notice he's giving the middle finger. Fuck you, Shawn. Because Shawn was complaining all year and all up to the 95 Olympia. He says, "Fuck you, I'm back. I'm not injured this year. I get a full year's working out." And then our next photo, relaxed from the front. Compare that relaxed from the front 95 after his injury compared to where he's standing beside Shawn in 94. Drastic difference. He's crisper. He's got no gut, no waist at all. No waist at all, as he did bloated out 94. Night and day, night and day. Next, we have him doing my favorite version of the most muscular, their hands clasped against Nasser El Sabati, who the year before in 94 was supposedly 240, and if you look at him, he looked maybe 240. Then he says he blew up to 270. I don't know if it's that much, but he blew up in a year, big time. Then 96, 97, he got better and better and better. But even here, he looks like a water buffalo compared to the rock stone uh, Dorian Yates. He just gets blown away in that pose, as he's a water buffalo, soft as can be. Well, Dorian is always hard as a stone. In the next picture of him in the most muscular, yeah, a little bit different from 94. I should have got the picture up of 94, and you can get it online. 94 Olympia, Ray versus Yates, where they're doing the most muscular hand clasp, and Yates' abs are washed out. He's not popping. He's not rock hard. He looks pathetic. 95, no injury, bammo. Just unbelievable. Then we have another most muscular, the crab position from the side shot. And this is one of his better shots because it shows his overall thickness from head to toe, his upper traps all the way down, his thickness, density, conditioning, and detail, that one shot. Then the next shot in 95, the year of redemption, we have him winding up, giving us that thick, deep Christmas tree, which got thicker in 96 and in 97. Thick, lower Christmas tree, winding up for the rear lat spread, which is lights out in the next photo. Even from an angle, that lat spread is unbelievably wide and thick and dense. Those traps coming down are taking a life upon themselves. Those mid and lower traps. He's got the cobra eyes going. Just meaty all the way down. There's no taper with this guy in the back department. It's just meat all the way down to the lower back, and his hams are just shredded in this. The next picture is a very aesthetic picture for Yates, as he is 255 in 95 as opposed to 257 in 93, and he's a lot bigger looking in 95, fuller. We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, this is a variation of a side triceps maybe. I'm not too sure, but it's a neat pic. I thought I would throw it in there because it shows him as ripped as can be. The next shot is his famous abs and thighs. He had the best abs and thighs for a big guy, hands down. Shredded. Plus those lats made him look so wider that taper was even better. Unbelievable. Now here's his best shot. What he's known for, besides his back shots, lat spreads, is a side triceps. The side tricep pose. He had the best triceps in the history of the sport, arguably. But he did have the best side tricep pose of all time. Why? He kicked back that left leg to show those 22-inch biggest calves in the history of the sport and those shredded hams. And then he would have it not straight on, but he would angle his body to the side just a slight bit so you could see the thickness in him and wideness. He hit it very different than most guys, very effective. And look at those triceps. You look at any video on YouTube, top 10 triceps, top triceps of all time. Yates is usually number 1 or 2. And so he's not just known for his back. He's known for his calves, 22-inch calves, known for his some of the best triceps of all time, known for his 19-inch forearms, meat hooks. The guy was thick head to toe. But not to take anything away from Shawn Ray, who was a prick. He is an asshole. I mean, guys don't even want to work with him with the magazines and that. He's getting fired from even today. But you have to give credit where credit's due. The guy's, 5'6", 5'7", 210, but one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. He was a giant killer because of the fact that of his unbelievable proportions and conditioning. And then he packed on the mass in the later 90s, even more so, as Kevin did. They both blew right up. And Flex Wheeler, all these guys blew right up after Dorian had to retire from injury in 97, the tricep tear. But they all just seem to blow right up. But Shawn Ray, in my opinion, is one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Consistent all day long from 88 all the way till the early 2000s. Conditioning proportions. You just couldn't deal with the likes of Yates, who had condition and mass and density. You just couldn't do it. As Flex Wheeler said and Kevin Levrone both said while they were both sitting there being interviewed about Yates, they both said he was a man of stone. As Kevin said, he was no 230-pound man up there. This is a 260-pound man amongst boys. He looked like he could tear you apart with his bare hands, Kevin said. He's so rugged looking. Flex Wheeler made the story that in 1993, up until 1993, in all his competitions in his amateur years against Kevin, coming in second to Kevin in the Nationals, USA's or whatever, he had stiff competition, and he said he would look ahead and he would have nothing would bother him. But in 93, going against Yates, when the Mass Monster first came out in 1993, when Yates came out, he said he was very distraught of the aura and the thickness and the hardness and density that stood right next to him. He said for the first time in his career, he was rattled. He said Dorian Yates was more intimidating than Ronnie Coleman. That's a recent quote. This is recent interview. Him and Kevin. He said Ronnie was bigger, but Dorian was way more intimidating because he had the thickness and density, just hard as a stone. Yeah, Shawn gave him a go when he had one arm and he couldn't train and blowed it out. But 95, Shawn ate his words, and Yates was right to say "fuck you" in his hotel room because Yates knew he brought the goods.